Imagine checking into a historic hotel only to realize that for 3 weeks, every time you brushed your teeth, showered, or took a sip of water, you were sharing it with a decomposing body. This isn't a horror movie, it's the chilling reality of what happened on the roof of the Cecil Hotel. But the real mystery isn't just how she died. It's the terrifying footage recorded moments before she vanished. In the morning of February 19th, 2013, guests at the Cecil Hotel in downtown Los Angeles began complaining about the water. It tasted strange. It ran dark. The pressure in the showers was low, and the color was off. A brownish, foul tinge that made stomachs turn. Maintenance workers were dispatched to the rooftop where 4 large water tanks sat baking under the California sun. What one of them found inside would become one of the most haunting, debated, and deeply unsettling mysteries of the modern era. The body of Elisa Lam, a 21-year-old Canadian student from Vancouver, was floating inside the tank. She had been there for nearly 3 weeks. During that time, the hotel's guests had been drinking, bathing, and brushing their teeth with the same water. The Cecil Hotel already had a grim reputation that stretched back nearly a century. Since its opening in 1927, it had been the site of multiple suicides, murders, and tragedies, a magnet for the darkest human stories. It had been a temporary residence of Richard Ramirez, the Night Stalker, during his killing spree in the 1980s. It was the last known address of Jack Unterweger, an Austrian serial killer who murdered 3 women in Los Angeles while staying there in 1991. Its very walls seemed to breathe something cold and wrong. The girl who disappeared, Elisa Lam, was not by any account the kind of person darkness should have touched. She was bright, curious, and deeply thoughtful. A student of sociology at the University of British Columbia who maintained a personal Tumblr blog full of book recommendations, candid reflections on mental health, and photographs of ordinary, beautiful things. She had planned a solo trip down the west coast of the United States, the kind of adventure that belongs to the young and restless. She checked into the Cecil on January 26, 2013. She was initially assigned to a shared dormitory room. The hotel operated a budget hostel section, but was later moved after her roommates complained about strange behavior. That detail would later coil itself around everything that followed. Impossible to ignore. Her last confirmed social media activity was a Tumblr post dated January 31st. After that, silence. Her parents, who expected regular check-ins, reported her missing on February 1st. The Los Angeles Police Department launched a search. Weeks passed. No Elisa. She had been there for nearly 3 weeks, while the hotel's guests unknowingly shared the water with her. The elevator video. In mid-February, desperate for leads, the LAPD released a single piece of footage that would shake the internet to its core, and never fully let go. The video, recorded on the Cecil security system, showed Elisa Lam inside one of the hotel's elevators. The timestamp placed it as the last known footage of her alive. What it showed defied easy explanation. She enters the elevator and presses multiple buttons. The doors do not close. She steps out into the hallway, peers around the corner as if checking for someone or something. She retreats into the elevator, peers out again, moving her body against the wall with a strange, lurching caution. She returns to the elevator and then does something that froze millions of viewers. She presses herself into the corner and begins moving her hands and fingers in slow, fluid, almost ritualistic gestures, as if she is speaking to someone invisible or performing something. The elevator doors finally close. She is gone from the frame. She was never seen alive again. The footage spread across the internet like a cold wind. Within days it had been viewed tens of millions of times. Forums lit up. Theories multiplied. Something about the video was viscerally, ineffably wrong. Not just sad, but strange in a way that the rational mind struggles to hold. Theories in the dark. The paranormal community seized on the video with ferocious intensity. The elevator's failure to close its doors, which could easily be explained by someone holding the sensor, was recast as supernatural interference. Her hand gestures were called demonic, possessed, a communication with entities beyond the living. A horror film called Dark Water, featuring a body found in a rooftop water tank, was invoked. The Cecil Hotel's sordid history was invoked. Everything was connected, people insisted. Nothing was random. Others pointed to a darker, more human explanation. Elisa had been diagnosed with bipolar disorder and was taking multiple psychiatric medications at the time of her death, including Wellbutrin, Lamictal, Seroquel, and Effexor. Those who knew the symptoms of a severe manic or mixed episode, the paranoia, the disorganized thinking, the hallucinations that can accompany psychosis, recognized something in that footage that was heartbreaking rather than supernatural. A young woman, perhaps in the grip of a crisis no one caught in time. But the rational explanation carried its own burden of questions. How did Elisa get onto the roof? The access door was alarmed and required a key. How did she open the heavy lid of the water tank, which required a ladder to reach? How did she end up inside with the lid apparently closed above her, with no ladder nearby? The coroner's report found no evidence of foul play. The manner of death was ruled accidental drowning, with bipolar disorder listed as a significant condition. What the water hell? The toxicology report showed that the levels of her medications in her system were lower than prescribed, a detail that could indicate she had stopped taking them, which is deeply common and deeply dangerous for those with severe bipolar disorder. Off her medications, the episodes can spiral fast and far. Reality becomes a country without borders. None of this explained every detail. The alarm on the roof door may have been broken or propped open by maintenance staff. This was never fully resolved. The tank lids, investigators noted, could potentially be pushed open from below. The absence of clear answers left a wound in the case that never properly healed. What remained was a portrait of a brilliant, struggling young woman who fell through the cracks of a system that should have caught her. A hotel that asked no questions. A city too large to notice one person disappearing into it. A mental health infrastructure that failed her before the water did. The weight of being watched. In the years since, Elisa Lam's case has become something uncomfortable, a spectacle. The elevator footage has been looped into horror YouTube compilations. Her Tumblr posts have been screenshot and shared as eerie last words. True crime podcasters have dissected her mental health history before strangers who never knew her. Her family in Vancouver has had to watch their daughter become a symbol of the Cecil Hotel, of urban mystery, of the internet's appetite for the macabre. There is something worth sitting with in that discomfort. The same curiosity that drives us toward her story. The need to understand, to solve, to assign meaning, is the same instinct that can strip a real person of her humanity and replace her with a cipher for our fears. She was not a ghost story. She was a daughter, a student, a reader of books, a girl who loved to travel, and who was fighting something very difficult inside herself. The Cecil Hotel has since been renovated and rebranded as Stay on Main, a budget hotel attached to an arts hostel, in an attempt to shed its macabre identity. It has not entirely succeeded. Tourists still arrive specifically because of the deaths. Elisa Lam's name is still Googled millions of times each year. The water tanks remain on the roof under the California sky, catching light and rain. The elevator presumably still opens and closes its doors at regular intervals, carrying ordinary people between ordinary floors. And the mystery, not of what happened, which is likely both simpler and sadder than any supernatural theory, but of why it haunts us so deeply, persists. Perhaps because the footage shows us something we recognize and dread. A young mind losing its grip on the world. Alone in a hallway at night. Hands moving in patterns that made sense only